Hey, Mr. Clash here, another NDL War Wednesday, week 2, Acid Rain versus Artists of War. Obviously, I'm sitting in Acid Rain and I'm doing some war attacks out of Acid Rain. Acid Rain lost this, as you can see, 83 to 79. Now, before we get going, I'll give a shout out to the 6-pack people from this war, and that is Dave, Saeem, Batman, Heisenberg, Building Squad, Tay, John, and Dragonborn. They're the people that gave the 6-packs. No Town Hall 11 3 stars to show you from this war. A couple 10s and 3 9s. That's what we'll have a look at to see what Acid Rain did. Okay, so we're looking at this first one. Now, what I try to do is to bring a little bit of variety into the attack. So, yeah, if there are too many attacks that are all the same, then I'll just pick one that I think is interesting or that we can learn something from. Now, obviously, a Queen Walk, so the heel is yet to go down onto the Queen. Now the Queen Walk with the hogs. Now I posted a video on this the other day, and I did have a comment saying, yeah, but bases weren't maxed. Well, the video wasn't to talk about max bases. The video was about the ideal hog pathing of a Town Hall 10 Queen Walk through a base, and that was to always section off or come into the base in such a way that you are always going to be taking out a section of the base so that the hogs could path around in a sort of a hog highway, I guess you could say, almost the shape of the letter C or like a horseshoe shape or something like that. So you can see that when the Queen comes in here, she's going to take out these 2 X-bows. Now it doesn't matter if you drop hogs over here, there'll be no reason for them to get here and then split off. So this then creates that shape that I was trying to talk about in the video where they path around in a curved shape around the base, and it keeps them a little bit more congested. Also going to have, obviously this was a cleanup, so we're going to point out something in the second Inferno area. A little bit in the first Inferno area, but it's more important in the second Inferno area, so it is something to keep in mind. Obviously a fresh hit, you wouldn't know what I'm about to show you, but it is definitely something that you would find out in a cleanup attack after a failed first attack, because you don't know where the traps are, and then you've got something to do with the pathing. So take note of where he drops the Clan Castle hogs here, and you can see that where the Tesla is, there, he's dropped it on the middle Tesla, which is really important because it disrupts the pathing of the hogs and it forces that bunch of hogs into the Inferno Tower. If he had not done that and he just dropped it somewhere else, then that bunch of hogs would have just followed the other hogs around and the Inferno Tower just would have stayed up because the Teslas were always the next closest thing. But by doing it that way, he made sure that bunch of hogs had nowhere else to go except straight into the Inferno Tower and take out the Inferno Tower. So it's a lovely little attack from Bladoots, again showing how important it is with the pathing of your Queen Walk hogs to section off a part of the base so that your hogs can have a very good run through it. Okay, so let's have a look at the next Town Hall 10 attack. And we're going to have a look at number 10. Town Hall 10, number 10, Mr. Lebowski. Now this base does look a little bit familiar. I'm not sure if it's an internet base. It just looks familiar. Or it could just look familiar because it has these chevron wall shapes in the corner, and we kind of bit of a trend that we did start to see a little bit. Not everyone's doing it, but a lot of people were doing it originally. Obviously the idea is that the wall breaker won't break the wall because there aren't enough walls there, and it just makes pathing a little bit difficult. But once you get a handle on the pathing, then it starts to be not as difficult as it was until you've practiced a little bit of pathing to get around it. So air defense has gone down, 12 Valkyries, 10 bowlers, a couple of hogs, and I think he's got CC hogs in this attack, showing that just because it's a certain style of attack that uses Valkyries and bowlers, you don't automatically need to take bowlers in the CC. You can, of course, take something else, and in this case, taking hogs. So that way you get a whole bunch of hogs down in one hit. You don't have to sit there tapping your finger endlessly to get that volume of hogs down. You can just drop the CC and know that the same 7 hogs will just come running out instead of needing to tap your finger 7 times while you might be concentrating on something else. So Inferno Tower is still up. Bowlers coming in. Bit of a late run on the bowlers in this attack. And now you can see that the Valkyries rage heal, and still a rage heal left. There we go, second rage. We've got another heal spell left at the moment. Inferno Towers, both Inferno Towers are still up at this stage. Bowlers are just running everywhere. They're all over the place. They don't really know what they want to do. They seem to split off fairly quickly. We've got heroes in different parts of the base. There is nothing really taking firepower from everything. So that was a little bit of an advantage. The firepower was kind of spread out, so things lasted a little bit longer than they could have. All the spells have been used. Healer's still up on these bowlers down at the bottom, taking out the air defense. Air defense is about to go down. King's health still is up. We've got 2 wizards still to deploy. A few weapons still up at the moment. Big bomb's gone off. I think the hogs may peter out unless they weapons can be distracted by something else. And let's just see. We've got 1 hog left. So yeah, hogs have petered out. So we'll just speed this up at the moment now. Valk's bowler's still coming out. So King's still up. And oh, look, yeah, he's just still up at the moment, which is a good thing. A very, very sick king, only just up, still does as much damage as a full health king. Just on the edge of going down. So a lovely little hit from Mr. Lebowski. And we'll move on to the Town Hall 9s. Town Hall 9s, we're going to have a look at this one first. I think it was 15. Yep. Okay, so he's going to have... We're showing Seam first. As I said, Seam did get a 6-pack. So we've got a Queen Walk something going on. You'll see the Clan Castle at the bottom there. Yes, this is a clean-up attack. I did fail on this base, but I can't remember if what it was that happened when I failed. I had some kind of malfunction thing going on with my tab. I think I ended up having an unresponsive tab, and then it just fully disconnected, if I remember correctly. So anybody watched on, they just would have seen everything just seemed to stop and time run out. That's what I think, from memory, is what I think happened. It might have been a different attack, but I know it did happen in one of my attacks where my tab just said, I'm not playing this game anymore. And my tab just does that sometimes. And I have the pop-ups come up that tell me what's the error. And sometimes I'll get 4 or 5 errors in a row, and it will tell me something. It will say Google's not working, Play Store's not working, this is not working, this is not working, this is not working. And while it's all doing that, my tab is just like totally unresponsive. And then we'll just shut down and reboot. So I have no idea why it does that. The only solution I have is to try and uninstall updates and things like that on my tab. You can't uninstall certain apps, of course, but you can uninstall the update, and then it seems to work again for a while. So I'm not sure if it's trying to update or whatever. But anyway, this is a lovely little attack from Sir Ian coming in. Got the bowlers, has done this most awesome funnel with the golems, not the goblins, but the golems that were down there. All of this is taken out, so it's a really fantastic funnel. Double jump. It's going to get access to all of this stuff with the bowlers double bump. Bounce from their bombs. Golem's still up. King's still up. The King's ability hasn't even been used yet. So we're into 63% of the base at the moment, and the King's ability still hasn't been used. Queen's ability, she can possibly use it. She might be able to get away with not using it. The healer is on the Queen at the moment. The healer's struggling to keep up with that. Okay, it's not going to happen. Has to use the ability. But hogs have come in. Still have 5 hogs left. We've got 2 hogs, 2 hogs. So mortar hogs and Tesla hogs. Wizard Tower's about to go down, and that's it for the hogs. 4 hogs left, 1 more wizard to do clean up, so probably drop some hogs. There we go. Got a couple of hogs coming onto the CC at the bottom. A couple more hogs ready to do a bit of clean up to help it on the way. And an extra wizard. Let's see where he's going to drop the wizard. I think there's hogs. Yeah, we've got the hogs at the bottom and drop the wizard at the bottom as well, just to make that even quicker. So nice little attack there. And now we'll move on to something different. I do, like I said, I do try to avoid the witch attacks unless we can see something different or learn something different from a witch attack. We're going to have a look at Dragonborn also, who got a 6-pack in this war. Now this is an internet base. Traditionally the Teslas are up around this area, all 4 of them. This is a cleanup obviously, so that's why he knew the Tesla was there. And normally this base is rotated 90 degrees to the right, so this area is sitting at the 12 o'clock position instead of the 9 o'clock position. So 1 golem coming in, 8 minions, 17 balloons, 4 wall breakers, and no Queen Walk on this one. So it's a Gobo Lalo obviously. Now, he's got a massive amount of balloons. You'll notice that there's 5 haste spells. Now, you don't need to always bring in rage spells for everything just because it's a Laloon. You don't need to always just bring in rage spells. You can bring in haste spells. So we're going to have a rage spell, I think, comes for the clan castle troops in a second. There we go. So that means the 5 haste spells will be all for the balloons. Now, the beauty of this attack is that by coming in from that angle, when the balloons come in from the top side here, from this 9 o'clock position type area, there's nowhere else for them to path down this way. It's like a little runway that's just going to go straight to those air defenses at the far end, because that's where he's obviously going to come in. I've kind of given that away at the moment, but that's where he's going to come in. He's going to come in at those air defenses. So the Queen's bashing a wall at the moment. Like I said, it's not going to be a proper attack unless the Queen decides to shoot some wall somewhere at some point in time. So 3 Teslas at the top. Queen's targeted onto the lava hound. We've got second lava hound coming in from the 10 o'clock position. Queen is still targeting the lava hound. Now she's moving on to some balloons. A couple of lava pups are trying to shoot her, and her health is declining rapidly. Well, okay, that lava pup's just got her. Balloons have taken out a lot of the stuff up the top there. One more haste spell left to go. There we go. Into the danger zone. Get this haste spell down onto the balloon, onto the wizard. Once the wizard's down, we know that the balloons aren't going to be in danger of losing 6 balloons to 1 wizard shot, and there's not enough DPS coming from the expo to wipe them all out. Little red bomb. If the red bomb had been there with a couple extra wizard shots, might have been in trouble, but it wasn't. So there we go. Nice little 3-star from Dragonborn on that internet base turned sideways. So we'll just speed that one up. Yeah, so don't use internet bases, unless you're going to change them drastically so it looks just vaguely familiar. Obviously, changing it one way is by turning it upside down or rotating it one way or another. Okay, now we'll come on to the last attack here, which is on this base by Teto. A nice little pentahound. Now, normal pentahound would have 20 balloons, but in this case we don't have 20 balloons. We've got 19 balloons. So we'll have a look here. What are the wizard and the archer doing? The wizard's going to come in and take out the gold mine. So once that gold mine comes in, you can see the heroes have gone down, or the queen's gone down. Once the gold mine goes down, you can see the king can go down, and now the king has nowhere else left to go, and he has to path this way. And that's pretty important because it gives the ability for the queen to come and take out this air defense, or if you wanted to take out the air defense yourself with balloons, then there'll be fewer weapons in the way to get straight to the air defense. But that's not the plan in this case. So lava hound's coming in, rage spell over the wizard tower, poison down onto the enemy clan castle. The queen's just missed out on that poison, unfortunately. I'll just see what the lava pups do. Okay, some of them are attacking the queen a bit. Oh, there we go. They're attacking the all that air defense is still up. So the balloons just passed somehow right past that air defense. I'm not sure how that all happened. The balloons passed that air defense, whether the baby dragon got them or not. I'll probably have to look at replay on that. So the enemy queen is still up at this moment. We do have 1 rage spell left and another lava hound coming in. Air defense has gone down, so that lava hound's now just going to be a distraction for balloons. The other lava hound in the middle of the base, he's still almost going to pop any second now. I would say that's going to release some more pups. Probably any second there, and the queen's going to get engaged by the pups, is she? What's she shooting now? Okay, the queen looks like she's targeting the next lava hound instead of any of the balloons. Yes, I can see the lava hound's health bar going down now, and the pups are chasing her, so those pups will take that queen out. And then the balloons will take out the archer tower. So the queen's almost gone down to the lava pup, little lava bombs that they throw. She's still trying to take that lava hound down. She's going to make it pop. It's really close. And what's going to happen first here? Okay, queen goes down. So lava hound stays up. And I'll just speed up the cleanup process. Loads of pups. Like I've said previously, when you're doing a penta, you don't normally need to bring cleanup troops because the pups take care of that. That's on a penta. In some of the other Laloon attacks, you might need cleanup troops, but not on a penta. So that is it for these recaps on this particular war. And we'll just have a look at the details on the war. So you can have a look at the percentages, 92.93. So looking about just a little bit under 1.7% difference with the 4 stars. So the destructions were pretty even. I call the destructions pretty even. There's one failed attack, obviously, on the Artists of War side. I'm not sure if that was just a Town Hall 9 scouting a Town Hall 11. I think it might have been. And I think it might have been the scout the Town Hall 11, and then they tripled the Town Hall 11. I think that's what happened from memory. And obviously you can see the difference in 3 stars here being the 2 stars. As I mentioned, a Town Hall 11 and 3 extra Town Hall 10 triples that came from the Artist War onto the Acid Rain side. There we go, the stars, percentage, and timing for your statistical pleasure. So there we go. Acid Rain 79 were defeated by Artists of War 83. And that's it for this recap. Thank you for staying to the end. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I'll see you in the next video.